Okay, we're going to come back to this because I want to hear from other people, but I really want to come back to this question about not being seen for who you are. Mazen, how is it for you that like we so often don't see you. You're not seen for who you are. What's that?
I overcompensate when I'm around Black people. Like, for example, when I'm around them, I want to tell them that I'm also Black because, I mean, likes like, so I want them to know, like, I'm one of you.
Like, Black people might say, why do you have to say you're Black? Or, do you get that sometimes? Like, what do you have to say that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, because that's your mom.
Yeah,
it's like,
she's part of me. I have to.
Yeah, she's not.
And I'm proud of it. Like, I never want to hide it.
You're with your mom. Who do they think she is?
A lot of people will actually say that.
Sarah, how about you? Where do you feel like you most belong?
I think I relate to what Mazen said.
So what makes the four of you really interesting is that this is a class on race and ethnicity and ancestry, right? And we can't easily place you in a category, or like we can place you in a category, but we'll mostly be wrong. And people are going to say, like, oh, why do you need to put people in categories? Well, because that's what we do. We put people in categories. We have urban people and rural people. We have your family and the family down the street. We have, the people that live in your part of the city and then people who live in another part of the city. And we have, categories. Americans. A lot of times people say, why can't we just be Americans? Why do we have to hyphenate that and be Brazilian Americans or Japanese Americans or whatever? It's like, well, saying they were just Americans is a category, so it's all a category. The fact is we can't put categories, or at least the ones that you're in were going to be wrong. What's that mean for you? What's that like for you?
I mean, I don't care. Like, put me in a category. Like, if you see me as Asian, it kind of helps me. Like, you kind of think I'm smarter, but I like.
So that's a
yeah. I want to be put in a category. Like, I don't want to be thought of as like a dumb white kid. Like, just put me as an Asian, get a little smartness boost.
Oh yeah. So you just even if you're not,
it helps. It helps. Like with jobs, see a little Asian in me.
Yeah, if they see you
might help.
They were gonna think maybe you're better.
Yeah. I could do some math for you, and I want to go in business, so that could really help me right there.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. The Japanese side of you.
Yeah.
You personally would like to uplift a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I want to eventually live there a little bit too. Live a few years in there, see, like really get in tune with my culture,
So the fact that people are going to miss the Japanese side of you, they're not going to see that, or they don't see it. Dude, how many people encounter you and be like, you're part East Asian, aren't you? Like, how many people say that to you?
I mean, after I tell them, like, they'll say, like...
No, not tell them.
Oh, no chance at all. Maybe a few other Asians, like, could notice, like, everybody knows, like, I'm not fully, like, I got a little something in me.
Okay, we're going to come back to this, because I want to hear from other people, but I really want to come back to this question about not being seen for who you are. Mazen, how is it for you that like, we so often don't see you. You're not seen for who you are. What's that?
I mean, like every document I have to sign or like every checkbox or whatever, they'll usually, they won't even have Arab. They won't even have an Arab like checkbox. Like all Arabs will have to choose white. I mean, that's a law that was made like in 1920 after a lawsuit in California that Arabs are considered white now. So, I mean, I would prefer a mixed, I can't get like, of course I know I'm not going to be able to like choose, I'm Arab white, like specifically.
So if you get to choose multiple boxes, you would, if there are a lot of boxes, that's what you would do.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'd prefer to do, but it's not realistic to do that. I would just prefer just have like a mix, like World of Conversation. There's like just a mixed thing, and I'm happy about that. But again, it's not life-changing to me. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm fine with doing 100% on this side, 100% on that side.
So how often are you thinking, how often do you think about the fact that you're in this category of, and I'm not, by the way, be really clear, I'm not thinking that anybody should feel a certain way, okay? But I've been in this business a long time, and I have a sense of how people are thinking about stuff, right? So how is it for you that you're in this body that's really very unique and that people can't, just kind of like Grayson here, people can't, or they don't see you, like your ancestry when they see you?
I mean, to be honest, I'm like a whatever type of person.
Okay.
You know, I don't care that people don't see what I am, really. I mean, I don't, like, when I was in school in Saudi Arabia, I was always said, oh, the American wants this. Oh, the American is saying this, you know. Or when I'm with my friends here, oh, you're Saudi. Or, like, whatever. Like, they don't even say Saudi, just Arab. Like, I remember, like, 2 days ago, someone, friend told me, yo, what's going back on your home in Iran? I'm like, that's not even, like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're home in Iran. Well, you could be Persian, you know.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I like Persians.
Sarah, how about you? Like, how is it for you to be part of this really kind of unique, to be in this body that doesn't easily fit where, you know?
I think it can be both, or it has been both good and bad. I think as a kid, it was very confusing where it was like, well, like people don't really know what I am, and I don't really know what I am, and I'm like also half, and so I don't necessarily fit into one country. So I think it was definitely confusing, like when I was younger. As I grew up, and like when you want to like avoid, if I wanted to avoid like speaking about my ancestry for whatever reason, because I didn't feel comfortable being like, oh, I'm Arab, it was easy to be just like, oh, I'm just Turkish, or oh, I was born in Cleveland, and then it like passes.
And then it goes on.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you remember going through a period when you were young, when you really wanted to be able to say, like, hey, I am this or I am that? Or were you just sort of always very quickly learn to adapt to the in-between?
I think so when I started like understanding that like, oh, each person is like from a different country, it was around when we were leaving Syria because of the war. And so the first like awareness I had to it was like, oh, I'm not allowed to say that I'm like necessarily Syrian. Because it's like at the time people saw Syrian as like terrorists or like bad people. And so from like a very young age, I was like, oh, like Turkish, because it's easier and people don't really have an issue with Turkey.
So you were really at a young age adapting in that way.
Yeah.
How about you? Like, how is it for you to be in this body where you're constantly, well, do you feel like you're constantly juggling or constantly?
Yeah, I feel it a lot when I see like people kind of like looking at me to kind of dissect what I am and trying to figure it out. That's happened to me throughout my whole life, growing up when I was little, everything. And then they'd see my mom and they'd be like, oh. And then they see my dad and they'd be like, okay, like that kind of makes sense. But yeah, now so I feel like I overcompensate when I'm around Black people. Like, for example, when I'm around them, I want to tell them that I'm also Black because, I mean, likes like, so I want them to know, like, I'm one of you. So, like, that's a conversation starter. Like, me and my roommate play, they're like, do you know what she is? Like, guess what she is. But yeah, I think it's changed me to, like, see both sides. And like someone mentioned before, even like checking the boxes and everything, like, growing up, I always had to pick one, but now they have multiple options, which is nice. And
hey, how does that go when you tell people, hey, you know, I'm also Black? I mean, what are the different responses you get?
When it's Black people, they're usually like, they like see my features and they're like, okay, I see it. White people, they I don't know. I don't know how they respond. It's like it varies.
Confused?
Yeah, confused.
Well, also white people are not, because it's a very politicized conversation.
Yeah.
This aspect of the race conversation is very politicized, especially black and white. Not so much East Asians and white people, like whatever. Arabs and white people, it's not. But for black and white people, it's very politicized, and white people often don't know how to. If you say that, they don't know how to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay? Is it like, can I call you black?
Yeah, sometimes they require proof too, and then I have to pull up a picture of my mom.
Yeah. Okay, so hang on a second. So I just want to say, so this is your mom here.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be like, I'm black, like I'm her. I'm from her. Like you can't not say that.
I know, yeah.
So like somebody might say, like black people might say, why do you have to say you're black? Or, do you get that sometimes? Like, what do you have to say that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, because that's your mom.
Yeah.
It's like,
She's part of me. I have to.
yeah, she's not.
And
like,
I'm proud of it. Like, I never want to hide it.
yeah, man. How much do you run into it? Are you around Asian? Or how much do you run into, like, yeah, I'm Asian too, and the politics of that? Like you said, you want to. You were joking, saying, like, hey, I want to be Asian because I want you to see me as smarter. But the fact is, your mom's Japanese, and so you also want to be your mom's child.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you manage that?
I mean, I don't really encounter much Asians in my day-to-day life. Like, I'm from like a small, very white Hispanic town. So I maybe have one Asian friend that's Chinese, and he's very whitewashed too, I'm going to be honest. So it's not really like I'm having to interact with a lot of Asian people telling them I'm Asian. Only maybe when I'm in Japan, when I'm with my actual family, like in their house, and going around with them, I have to tell them, I'm my mom's son, my mom's grandma, or like, I mean, what? No, my was it grandson?
Your mom, and the grandson.
So I feel like I only encounter it when I'm in the other country. Like when I'm in Japan, I have to encounter it, but I can't speak the language, so my mom has to do it a lot of the times, like for me, or my aunt and grandma.
Okay,
Yeah.
but when you're with your mom and you're with your mom, who do they think she is?
A lot of people will actually say that I look like my mom, which is the crazy part.
Yeah, no, I bet you do, actually.
Like, I think I have a lot of her features, and maybe in the eyes, maybe when I smile, but it's noticeable. A lot of people actually say I look like my mom more than my dad, surprisingly.
Yeah?
I think I have more of her features, just like
Yeah.
color, and maybe my dad's nose too.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's cool.
everything else, it's noticeable, like. But at the same time, like, I feel like everybody says that you look like your parent, like when you're with them, because it's like kind of like a bias.
Yeah. If they know
it's your
who
parent,
parents are. Where do you feel like you most belong?
That's crazy. I mean,
No, hang on. Don't like blurst it off. Like really, where do you feel like you most belong?
surprisingly, the country that I'm not currently in. I mean, because like I'm longing for wherever I'm not at, like the most. Especially like this was like the first Ramadan not in Saudi, so like, and especially when here I've been listening to so much more Arab music, not just Saudi, like Fairuz and all of them. I've been listening to so much more Arab music since I've been here, and been watching more like soccer games, like more into like I watch every single national team. I mean, it's whatever I'm not at, and like when I'm in the U.S., I would just put on country music, going down like the highway, freaking full blast.
Yeah, because you got Kentucky bluegrass.
Yeah,
stuff
like
too,
a lot of Zach Bryan just driving down the highway, and everyone's looking at me. I'm in full attire. Everyone's looking at me. Why is this guy listening?
Mean you're wearing
to
a thobe?
Yeah,
and
wearing
stuff?
a thobe. Best, by the way, the best thing ever. It's the greatest attire. Outfit. You can do whatever you want with it.
So for you feel like you most belong. It's like wherever you're not. So if you're here, you feel like, hey, it's in Saudi or in the Gulf. But would you say specifically Saudi?
I say specific Saudi, specifically Hijazi, like the specific region.
Okay, and then if you are there, you feel it's here.
Yeah.
So you're kind of back and
I'm
forth.
always like I remember because they moved me to Saudi Arabia when I was in 5th grade. And I was so like, of course, I'm 12 years old, 11 years old. I'm distraught. I'm like, all my friends are gone. you know.
Yeah.
And they were saying like, oh, so you can learn more Arabic, you know. And I hated it. So every time I was in Saudi Arabia, it was like, I can't wait for the vacation. And now I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. How's your Arabic?
Way better. Holy moly. Like, way. I mean, at least I'm thinking of like my siblings. I have like 7 siblings. So I'm like basing off tier of who are past. I think I'm quite in the middle now.
Do you speak with a southern accent?
Southern accent? No.
Do you speak Arabic? I'm just joking, actually.
No, I have a very, very like strong Jeddawi accent. I'm from Jeddah, so I have very strong not a strong Jeddawi, but like people can still like people not even from Saudi Arabia will know I'm from Jeddah specifically.
Yeah, dude. Sarah, how about you? Where do you feel like you most belong?
I think I relate to what Mazen said, where it's like I don't feel like I belong. I've never felt like I've belonged to like one place. I've been through 3, like I've lived or related to like 3 different countries. So I grew up in the same city he did after the Syrian war, Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and that's where my family lives right now. And then my mom's side all live, or majority live in Turkey. And then my dad's grandparents still live in Syria. So it's always been between those 3 places where it's like when I'm in school in Saudi Arabia, I miss going back to Turkey and I'm like waiting to like go on vacation to see my family. And then like same thing with Syria where it's like, well, this is where I grew up and this is where I'm from. So it's like very conflicting.
Yeah. And now look, here you are with these.
With the clogs.
You're wearing clogs with white socks. I love it, man. Pure American. What's the best part of not looking like who you are? Like people not being able to know who you are by your appearance. What's the best part of that?
So like I said, I lived in Egypt, Spain, and France, and all 3 of those countries I kind of like fit in because I don't know. Maybe I'm ambiguous and I can fit in anywhere. So that's a plus. And then also like people not knowing that I'm black and then really getting to hear their thoughts about what they really think about black people. And then through that, I assess, okay, I want to be friends with you or I don't want to be friends with you.
Do people assume that you straighten your hair?
Yeah.
Do you straighten your hair?
I do. It's curly, but it's like white texture. It's not an afro.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so one is that, so the best part is that you get to see the world from different perspectives.
Yes.
You get to hear different thoughts that people have. Mm-hmm. What part of it do you trips you up?
Like I can fit in every like kind of anywhere, and then when they actually know what I am, I feel like it's harder because I'm like I have white friends, but I don't really like relate fully on like white issues and everything. And then also when there's a lot of like controversy, black versus white, sometimes I have a hard time like not like picking a side, but like having my own opinion about it. Also my dad, he's a retired NYPD, so like there's a lot of controversy with that, but like I get to see both sides, and that can kind of be like hard and confusing.
Mixed people very often say what you just said. You feel like you have to pick a side or be on some side. And who do you find yourself identifying with most often?
My black side.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because are you closer to your mom?
Yes. Well, no, I'm close to both parents equally, but my mom's side I'm closer with. So like
her
my
family.
cousins, my aunts, yeah.
That's okay. Let me just say, do you find that unusual?
No. I think people are usually closer to their mom's side.
Well, or there's one side of the family that generally speaking people are a little closer to than another. And it could be one, or it could be the mom, could be the dad, but yeah, that's pretty common. Dude, what's the coolest part of being you? Did I ask you that question yet?
The coolest part of being me is I get to go to Japan like once a year. I mean, I feel like that's most people's like bucket list, like wherever, like vacation, and I get to just go casually. I get to stay in an actual house there. Like, I'm not staying in hotels. I get to visit. I get to know the coolest spots. Like, I'm not going to the tourist spots. I'm going to the actual places.
Dude,
You know?
when I was in Japan, I tried so hard to get someone to invite me to their home. Japanese are just notorious for, you can't get over the threshold. You just don't have people. You just don't have, people don't come into their homes.
And I'm lucky enough to be from a wealthy family from Japan. So, like, it's in Tokyo. The house has an elevator and everything in it.
Going right up to the apartment.
Yes. No, it's not even an apartment. It's a whole house in Tokyo.
Oh,
It's even.
all right. Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. So.
What's the part that trips you up?
I don't really get tripped up by it. I've lived in the same town all my life, so
So
I'm just used to.
that's fine.
I'm white. I'm gonna be honest. I'm white. Yeah. I really.
You're a bro.
Yeah. I really don't see my Asian self that much.
Yeah.
But,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I've just grown up being white around white people. You know.
And you're good with that.
Yeah, I'm 100% fine with that. I've lived with it. I mean, I've never known anything else. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by the way, see, there are a lot of people might look at him and be like, "Oh, dude, hang on one sec. Oh, that's really sad. You should be connected to your Japanese side or whatever." It's like, no, you shouldn't. Just be who you are, man. If you're cool, if you want, just be the white dude. Be the white dude.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's cool. What's the part of being you that trips you up?
Maybe code switching. I mean, depending on like who I'm with. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure everyone code switches. But like depending on who I'm with, I either white it up or Arab it up. Like I gave myself an accent when I'm speaking English to an Arab person.
Can you speak with a southern, like a Kentucky accent?
No.
Oh, you can't do that?
No, because they're from northern Kentucky, so they're not
Yeah,
like
it's a little bit different.
They're like
Yeah.
more towards like Ohio, you know. Like it's right across Cincinnati. Like a huge amount of friends that I can go back to. Like I can call close friends, like across the world.
In different cultures.
In different cultures, yeah.
Which just gives you a window into the world.
Oh yeah, and not all that, it also trips you up. Like back to the tripping up. There's so many. Especially because I wasn't taught at a young age. I wasn't taught, like I had to teach myself. My dad didn't really teach me much about it. Is like the etiquette at like certain things in like Arab culture or like certain responses. Like if someone gets a haircut or if someone tells your name, you'll both Naiman, but different ways of saying it back. And I'll trip it up every single time. And people were like, "Are you stupid? Do you not know the response?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, man. Like I don't understand."
So when you say, so your grandfather is your father's father? Is he alive?
No, both my grandfathers passed away before I was born.
Okay. But the older male relatives, you do
my
kiss
dad.
them on both cheeks
Oh, yeah.
and stuff? The whole
Right,
thing?
left, right, I think, remember.
Yeah.